Hello and welcome to the very first monthly song cover podcast, right?
Monthly cover podcast.
That's what we decided to go for. It really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? But yeah, so this is our first episode of this podcast. So to give everyone a little bit of background about how we kind of did this is something we did over COVID, right? When we couldn't leave our homes.
2020.
Exactly. So what we did was each week at the time we set each other songs to cover in a various fashion, and then we came together the following week and sort of discussed, shown what we did. It was a great way to improve our sort of editing and musical
production
ability.
It was something to do.
It was something to do. Yeah, it was crazy times, and 4 years later, we finally decided to actually do it as a podcast now. So, but monthly, as we have, because we're not in COVID anymore, we've got other shit. We've got other things to do.
Do you remember those times when every week was just like, what should we do this evening? I don't know what to do with my free time.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Try and take over the world.
So every month we're going to be coming together in video format, audio listener format as well, and basically just going through and doing exactly what we did, setting each other challenges, going through each song and listening to them. So this week, for the first week, what we've done is we've actually each of us have gone over our previous songs that we've done in the past, and there's a good 16, 17 songs.
And a great many.
Quite a lot. Yeah, we did it over quite a while. We kind of did it first over COVID, then we were let out a bit, and then we went back in and did it, and then we started it up again. There were kind of two halves to what we did previously. Obviously, we'll put some links at the bottom of this video or in where you can access all of the previous songs. Not something we discussed, but it's a good idea.
Let's make a YouTube playlist.
So we'll pop a playlist of the ones. Well, the ones we're at least happy for you guys to see.
And if we don't do that, it means the person who's editing has completely forgotten, which is
me. So I suggested it, so I should at least think that.
But firstly, who are you? Haven't even said who we are yet.
We haven't.
We got the entire rundown. I was like, who are these?
This is what we did, and
we are four abstract.
I know.
We are four abstract beings. Do we need names?
So I mean, yeah. Let's go around and sort of say who we are and how we know each other. So I mean, I'll start with myself. My name is Josh. I started doing music when I was 17, and I'm 32 now, and I'm not much better than I was then.
Oh, that's
but
not true.
we do all right. Yeah, but if you set the bar low,
I see.
Yeah.
and everyone will be like, "Wow, it's really good," but then they forget that he's been doing it 17 years, so maybe not.
I'm Sammy. I've been doing music for. God, I was like, I'm not even going to call it.
Same time. We started together, didn't we?
We started learning guitar at the same time. I've been performing a little bit before that, but yeah, it's my full-time job to do the music, do said music, and I mean, I've been all right so far. No one's thrown tomatoes at me, so that's a good thing.
Well, let's put it this way: it's your job.
It is my job.
Out of the
Don't say I do it good.
You are the professional musician out of the four of us. So
see, the problem
professional
is set the bar high.
Professional is
professional is
set
the bar high.
Bar's way high now.
Quotes.
So it can only go downhill from where you've set professional level.
Then bring it down. I used to work at Argos. There we go. Bars lowered.
Used to.
Exactly.
Used to.
Then I was a full-time musician. Next we have...
Hello. My name is Declan. I also do the music. I also do a a songwriting podcast with this person here, who you shall hear more about later.
Do we really? Do we really need to?
I've been playing music since year 9. How old would that be?
15? 14, 15?
Year 9? Yeah.
So I started on piano around that time, went on to guitar a couple of years later, which is when I met these guys here, and we all basically learned how to play the guitar together.
Yeah, it's worth that the three of us went same school.
Yes.
Sixth form together, that's college, and
Camborne.
kind of that's where we formed. And I think actually before we come on to yourself, Roger, we've all been in bands together pretty much exclusively, haven't we?
Yeah.
The three of
Any
us are.
combination.
There's always been a combination of a band where someone's not in it.
We
As well.
converge into some point. It's like,
Someone's,
Shout
yeah,
out to the Black Strings.
yeah.
don't look that up.
Don't look
Don't
up the
look
black
that up.
strings.
Don't
No,
even
that's
think
not.
about it.
Do look that
Watch
up,
it.
but don't comment on
Link
it.
in description.
No, that's,
Don't.
that's really not.
He's editing, so it won't be.
Yeah, it's not there. I'll cut this bit out. But sorry, and finally,
My name's Roger. I also, like Declan said, I do a podcast with Declan where we write a song every week. And I've been doing music since I was like 12 and recording since I was just a little older than that. And I just love recording. And I like that we're revisiting the COVID thing of like doing these covers and producing.
Wording.
Context.
The pandemic lockdown situation. Because,
Revisiting
I
COVID.
just want this quote held on the screen.
oh my God, I got
Roger
cancelled
endorses
within
the
like the first
COVID.
10 minutes of this episode. Jeez. But yeah, looking forward to what we're doing.
And then we sort of met at open mics in Cornwall,
Yeah.
at which point we all sort of started
Yeah,
hanging out
basically.
together.
I met you
Yeah.
and then I met you guys like very shortly afterwards. And we've done various things
never
together.
look
over
back,
the
have
years.
we?
Exactly.
So I think it's an interesting kind of thought point. Is that like COVID was horrific, but I think this probably was one of the best things.
Yeah.
It was nice to have time
Came
to
out of
dedicate
COVID.
to something. Like
It was a nice thing to look forward to. It certainly kept us busy, especially when we were on a week turnaround as well. Because I remember, I'm thinking about it now. Actually, that first run we did, which would have been like probably late March 2020 through to like April, May, maybe to early May. That first run that we did, which was weekly with a video element, if I remember rightly as well.
I gave that up pretty quickly.
we went to stills pretty quick, didn't we? We just went to like still images.
Stills was just an image. I think by that point, I just
As the audio quality
I'll vaguely
increases.
make some kind of album artwork for it, but that's as far as I'll go. But then we went to 2 weeks when we revisited it, because I think at that point some of us were working again as well, so it wasn't quite as quick a turnaround that we can do. And now we're in normal worlds. We're going to be doing this once per month, so something definitely to look forward to.
100%.
Something to kind of again just get our teeth
Yeah.
back into
Get my teeth into them.
back into music production again.
Hell yeah.
At least I think for me that was my first foray into music production at all. I think prior to that I'd only ever done live gigs and stuff like that, so I'd never really worked with like computer software or multi-instrument kind of pieces
And
together.
you learned the DAW cakewalk like really like rapidly in that period, and you like went from someone who hadn't produced anything before to someone who was like producing a cover a week. It was really quick.
Well, I was using Audacity originally, and that very quickly became
I started
not feasible for.
It was free.
I think
though,
it's great for just if you're just doing a voice recording, but Christ, if you're trying to do multi instruments to a click and
It's stable for a single source, but if you want to do
doesn't work.
anything more complex,
Can you add reverb and stuff in Audacity?
Yes.
I think
yes.
so. I think it's
okay.
good. I don't think you can add VSTs to.
No, you have to sort of apply it directly to the track, so you can't like decide to turn off the reverb halfway through.
No, and you can't get into anything complicated like buses and effects and like anything like Audacity just does not. It's audio tracks and that's
Basically, the best option on it is like you put the effects on. It's like you want bass boosted. It's either yes or no.
yeah. On,
It doesn't say what level. It's just like you want bass
On
boost.
or off.
Got it.
You can have it if you want it.
But that's
Do you want to
the
change
effects.
Do you want to change the pitch of the track? Yes, absolutely. Okay, what percent? I just wanted to go up a tone. Yes, what percent?
Yeah. I think 50 is right. I think.
times.
Oh no, if you drag the slider, I think it's like okay, move the pitch up 7.921%. And it's like in tone wise, what does that mean? It's like half a step, I think.
Not the most musical tool in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Memories.
it's stable. But yeah, no.
But
So,
if it's up cakewalk, like
Yeah, I mean, again, we had a lot of free time, so I did watch a lot of YouTube tutorials on how it works, and I think for this as well, and I think with us today bringing our favorites, that we did over that period to the table, I think I think for me, going back over the songs that I did, there is a definite upwards increase as because I thought I said to my wife, like, right, I'm going to sit down and actually listen to all the songs that I did. And I went right to the start, listened, and just hated them. And then there became a point where I was like, "Oh, this one's not too bad." And then there are a couple. There's some blips. Don't get me wrong. There's a couple where it went really. Oh, like, fuck, that was good. And then no, that was ambitious. And then the next one's, oh, that's a bit better. And the one I went, well, the one I've gone with when we come on to it in a minute is one of the later ones.
Ditto for myself.
One of the later ones, definitely. So, which is good. That kind of proves the point of why we did it, was to kill the time, but also to kind of scratch that itch. And for me, it was to develop the skill. For you guys, it was to kind of improve it.
Yeah, develop it too. I think we all noticed improvement in ourselves.
Well, it's like fun. Well, it's like learning like new bits and pieces to do. Like one thing in the previous run that I was doing was like trying to sort of get the reverb of sounds just to fill out space and things like that, and like trying to sort of put tape saturation on everything. It's too much tape saturation. No, thank you, but yes, thank you. So yeah, it's kind of, but like you say, it's like you find as the weeks went on, you're getting more and more ambitious. Or like I noticed in my case, it's just like taking songs and then going like, oh, that's different. Let's go extreme in that direction, as opposed to thinking like, oh yeah, I'll just do a standard version of this song.
I think it's worth saying as well, like what we did then and also what we're doing now, it's not like, okay, you've got like Bad Reputation by Joan Jett or whatever, or S Club 7, you have to do it just like that. It's like we take the original song and just take it in any direction we want, so it's like a completely creative thing as opposed to like covering it in the traditional sense.
So that's a really good point, kind of explain actually. So what we did over COVID was very much, we did set some vague themed weeks, but within that each of us had each other that we would, so like I gave, I think just off the top of my head, what I gave you Hard Times by Paramore one week, didn't I?
Yes, you did, yeah.
So and then someone gave me a song and vice versa. So that's how we did it originally. But for this, we're actually kind of we're changing the format a little bit to be a bit more interesting, in the sense that one of us for each month will be setting a vague theme effectively. So that could be something like heavy metal or country or female artists, or loads of different things that it could be, but ultimately that then gives each of us the freedom to kind of go away and do something interesting. Like you could, if it was a country music week, you could take a typical country song and do it in a different style. You could take take a song that isn't country and do it very, very country. It gives us a lot of free reign to do something.
It gives you a lot of free wains.
Yeah.
I like being given free reign. To do.
I like Free Wayne too. Free Wayne is always a win.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
It's free. But
I don't like it when only two of them turn up.
But that
Sorry,
would be...
Joke of the day.
So I think that, and that's going to give us a lot of freedom, I think, to do interesting. I think there were times where we were given songs to each other that were perhaps too ambitious or
just didn't suit us as well.
I think that was the first couple of like sessions. We were just like, we kind of left it a bit more like freehand, where we were like, like for one of my songs Roger gave me was Spinal Meningitis by Ween.
Yeah,
the poster's up there. I can't even remember.
Which isn't like a well-known song. Even like Ween's fans aren't like, that's my favourite Ween song. It's like a weird song. I don't know why.
I never heard the song before, and I was just like, that's you. And we would make it work, like the song you'd given, but it was just so out the box. You had to be like, okay, let's make songs pseudo popular, or be like, I remember that song.
Yeah,
we did have to introduce a rule, partly for me, of like, I don't know the song. Okay, what about that one? I don't know the song.
That one.
What about this one? I don't know the song.
You had to have backups on backups on backups.
Yeah, we had to be like, it's somewhat popular, somewhat memorable. If you can, one person could like at least remember chorus or verse, to be like, okay, I can relive that
the level
song.
of like, it's the one that goes da 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 da. Oh,
so it's worth saying. So this week is very much, I've set the challenge this week in terms of restarting the challenges, at least for the podcast.
So you get to sit in the captain's chair?
That's why I'm in the captain's chair today, vaguely leading the charge, but not very well. is to, and that was sort of my decision, was to say, right, let's all bring our favourite that we did from the previous run, and we'll have a listen to those, and we'll play those for everyone at home listening or watching. And we'll kind of go through and kind of discuss why that's our favourites, talk about it, because obviously, I mean, I don't remember half the ones I did, let alone if I'm the other ones you did. I can't remember. I think I've got my favourites that I remember from each of you, and I'm hoping those are the ones. I know yours isn't the one I want.
Because we don't know each other.
Declan did a great cover of Mulan. What was the song called?
I'll Make a Man Out of You.
I'll Make a Man Out of You. That is amazing. That has to be on the playlist, because that's the best song you've ever done.
I don't think technically it's the best thing I've ever done, but like I did have I had a lot of fun doing the voices.
It was great. Yeah, you're not going to hear that today, but at least it's there. I think, and then once we've listened to each of our favourites, we're then going to start discussing what we're going to be doing over the next month. In terms of what the theme is. That theme is going to be set today by Sammy, so hopefully that's a good one, but we don't know currently now, do we, what that is going to be. So and each month that will be a surprise for us,
and it'll be a surprise for you as well.
Exactly. And then also we don't know what songs each other are going to be doing and how they're going to be recorded, so it's going to be a really nice surprise each month for us to go through that. Just before we kind of really get into the meat of it then and going through, maybe quickly one by one we can just kind of say what maybe our least favourite song was.
Oh God!
Kind of real quick fire kind of discussion.
Let me just go on YouTube or go something.
I can remember my.
See, I can't do that because my phone's over there.
Sammy, what was yours?
I've got one, but it's more like circumstantial, where it's like we did take like a longer hiatus for during one of the times between months or weeks or anything. I had a loss in the family, and I was like, I literally haven't recorded anything, can't do anything. However, the song is so much fun, but in the circumstance, I was like, after filming and recording it, I was done with it. I did a cover of Kim Possible because we had Disney theme week, and not that the song isn't like a good song or my version of it was okay, but circumstantially, it's the one I think about the most. Is like I hated the time of it as opposed to the actual song.
It's linked to sort of
it's not. But that's the only thing I can think of. All the other songs are bangers. No, they're all fucking all of them. I think are like, what can you do in an isolated space? And it's like everyone did the best they could. And I think mine are like, I enjoyed at least recording most of them. This is the only one I was like, I can't enjoy it as much.
Yeah, it's tough when it's tied to a hard memory.
Yeah, exactly. But these two are like, run their own podcast and have all the sound equipment possible. Most of their stuff, it sounds amazing. I love all of them.
Oh yeah, it did felt like at a time that did felt how we divided up today, isn't it? It did felt like there was a.
No.
I was kind of trying to learn it, and then
we shall not cross it.
I cross it and like get away from you.
No.
And we've also gone hats and no hats.
Oh yeah.
So
is this pre-orchestrated?
This is a hat. This works.
But Deck, what was your probably least favourite one of our
across the river here.
Our COVID run?
Across the real musician side.
That's difficult because I don't tend to remember the ones I don't like. I'm not sure that this is. I'm not sure that it's my least favourite because I remember it being okay to do, but I found it difficult when I couldn't think of how to change a song in an interesting way. So there's in the first run of 5 you gave me like a country song which I can't remember what it was.
You sure that wasn't Josh?
No,
Josh is more the country fan than me.
No, this was you because I remember it's an old timey 50s song.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
It's like
and instantly, or there was a Mumford and Sons song that I had to do, which the song is fine, my recording of it's fine, but I just remember thinking like I can't think of an interesting way to sort of change this, so it ended up being more or less an acoustic version of the original, which
that would have been Mumford and Sons week.
That would have been Mumford and Sons week. Yeah.
I will say that
it wasn't Mumford and Sons week.
I
did a Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, it was Believe. You did Believe.
Yeah.
I did Wilder Wind, I think.
Believe was nearly my song that
Oh,
I
really?
brought through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
well,
did
at
a
least
good
we now
Mumford
know
and
it's
Sons.
not Believe.
Also, Mumford & Sons,
check that
classic
up.
50s band.
Yeah,
I'll
No,
also say,
there was a separate one, like very,
Oh,
very.
okay.
I also say, like, when we actually gave out songs to each other, we also had a couple of our friends or significant others also give us songs as well. So
Yes.
they also gave us kind of influence of what we're going to do as well.
I think it was my wife that set Disney Week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
Grace.
Grace set Mumford and Sons.
Yeah.
If I
Then
remember
Adam
correctly.
was like, "You want metal? I've got metal
There
for
was a
you."
few. Yeah, no, 'cause
That's
actually,
why I've got a Sabaton cover on my YouTube channel.
Right.
What's so great about this is like country to metal to this to Disney. It's like
Did a lot of-
it's not like we're in our comfort zones at all, which I think
No.
is a really cool element of this.
So this week is
Roger?
Pantera month.
Least favorite, Roger.
I think for me it's probably Dakota, the Stereophonics song, just because like
That was the one we actually
Everyone-
all did the same song.
That was my
That's right.
suggestion. I was
And
like,
you
we'll all
guys-
pick the same
you guys all
song.
covered it really well, but I think for me, I made the backing track first, so like, oh, add the drums, bass, guitar, all that, and then I went to do the vocals, like, oh, it's in like a really high key, and I've already committed to all the instrumental tracks, so
Get it on Audacity and pitch
You
shift
put it in
by
Melodyne, just put it
50%.
down to.
yeah. So that's probably me.
Well, let's flip this question back around. What about yourself? Is there anyone that
Yeah,
stands
my
out for
least
you?
favorite was a self-given song when I did Elmo.
Elmo.
Oh, I can't
Elmo.
remember myself. We did Elmo.
Elmo's
Mr. Elmo. No, I did when I set emo week.
Oh.
Oh,
And I gave
yes.
myself very ambitiously the Black Parade.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
that was
that-
ambitious.
To be fair, that was impressive. Like watching
Yeah,
that film.
I've since listened to it back, and it's like, okay, it's pitchy. It's just like all the components are there, but it just doesn't. It doesn't really cohesively go together.
I think that's the thing of a lot of them, though, is that because we did them in a quick turnaround and everything,
Yeah.
there are imperfections in all of them. Even in one of my favourite ones, there's a moment it's like, like that guitar's
Yeah.
slightly out of time there. Or,
I mean, I did debate because I've still got all the files for all the songs. And there was one song I wanted to use, but I wanted to change it, and I very nearly went in and made the changes. But
So you're doing your anniversary
it's
remix
not in the
edition.
spirit of what we're trying to do. So I did. I promise. I left it. I didn't touch anything. So yeah, but I think that's probably a good point to say. What we're going to move on now to actually let's listen to our favourites of the week. So
who's going
let's
first?
start with. I've got my list.
I think it was
so
me.
actually, yeah, we're starting with Sammy. So
Because you had a lovely segue being like, it's going in and like tweaking it. We actually did have 1 week where we went back.
we
and
did redo our favourites, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
This is one of my favourites.
Oh, yeah.
So did you pick? Have you picked your redo?
Or your original.
This is the redo.
Oh, amazing. Okay,
Oh,
so
So my redo, I had a cover of I forget now.
you forgot your own.
your own
His
cover.
favourite
No, I
song.
The one that really
No, it's the
stands out.
song title.
The one thing we
This
had
is what-
to
this
do.
is what happens.
for this
I actually need to write it down.
We
last
didn't have
time.
to record anything. We just had to pick a song.
No, I know. I remember.
Remember and
I
turn
remember
up.
which one it is. I just can't remember the name of the actual song because it's actually a song by the Spice Girls.
Two become one.
Two Become One. That's the one. Thank
Oh,
you.
yes.
I literally remember the title, and I have
Resident
two.
Spice Girl expert.
Yeah. The
Resident Spice Girl expert.
Yeah.
So why did you choose To Become One?
Well,
to-
well, maybe we'll
bring-
listen to it, and we'll be back after this.
Let's do it.
Candlelights and souls forever. Dream of you and me together. Say you believe it. Say you believe it. Free your mind down in danger. Be for real, don't be a stranger. We can achieve good as I remember, baby. Get her done, get her done. 'Cause tonight is the night when two become one. I need some love like I never need love before. And I've had little love, now I'm back for more. And set your spirit free, that's the only way to be. You as wise as I remember, baby. Get her done, get her done. 'Cause tonight is the night when two become one. Yeah, I need some love like I never need love before. And I've had a little love, now I'm back for more. I need some love. I need some love, now I'm back for more. I need some, 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 I need some. Set your spirit free. That's the only way to be. Here is the only way to be. Here is the only way to be.
Wow. So that was.
So fake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's talk about something I just experienced.
Well, that was a genuine wow. I was impressed.
We have been saving our.
We've just
phrase.
finished listening to it, but we had to move some bits. But we had to listen to the song, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I thought that was really good
I
as well.
do vividly remember that now. Actually, us coming back to
Yeah.
listen to that. I think that was the first time, I think for you, Sam, that you actually started like layering in more stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's like this, and maybe like one or two after, because this is like, I would want to say this like, this was reintroduced like, we did one like a year ago, pick a song, like a year anniversary of doing it maybe.
sounds
Sounds
about
something
right.
like that.
I think it was when we came back into
Yeah.
like, as a starter to when we repicked it
Yeah.
up again. I think in 21, we were like, let's do this again. Let's pick one from the first run.
Yeah.
And kind of like we're doing today, I guess, but without actually
Because
redoing
it's nice
it.
like reset to be like from back then, looking back at the first one and being like, oh, it was like a fun thing we were doing to start it off. Also being like, we've learned so much over that time period. What can we add to it? So I think this is like the first time of maybe like a couple of them where it's like, oh, I've added more vocals or the production's better, rather than just being like iPhone clamped to something and just off we go on my end.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
I got to say the harmonies all over it are great, particularly towards the end as you layer in more and more, and you got like backing vocals and lead vocal going at the same time.
Yeah.
There's loads of cool stuff in
It's
there.
so fucking difficult, and I'm like recording it live, but I've already recorded the backing tracks and harmonies.
What did you use to do that? Did you use a DAW or
just on
did
top of the video.
or
file.
was it? Did you do it in video editing software or?
That was all in Sony Vegas.
Yeah.
So you
See,
added like
that's
a new
impressive. to
in
not-
Sony Vegas. You added a new track and be like, "This is a harmony."
Yeah,
That's kind of
Yeah.
cool. That's like quite innovative, actually.
Well, what on the video, because obviously we're just playing the song rather than the video for the podcast. I filmed a video for it, and I literally did a sample, recorded the harmonies, didn't like the sample, recorded the video with the harmonies in the background to match along, with no click track or anything. So I was hoping all the timings would be on the correct time,
That's tough.
which was a ball ache.
Yeah, that's really tough.
I'd forgotten you put all that get her done stuff in.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Get Her Done? as the resident country of this year, I did enjoy that very much.
I think for the first couple of songs, it's like also like learning new songs, and because it was like, we were still stuck inside for, I think at this point must have been the full year. I would say this redo must have been the first.
This would have been 21 where we were kind of allowed out. It would have been around the time of Bubbles, if we remember.
Bubbles and like tiered lockdowns
and the house
stuff
you could bubble up with another household, but the really easy to understand time of COVID.
It was managed really well over here, wasn't it?
Because that would have been around the time actually I actually did a COVID gig when people were only allowed to go in like groups of 6.
Oh wow!
And like they weren't allowed to sing along. It was the worst gig I've ever done.
Because we did a Frank Turner. We went to a Frank Turner show.
That was one of the best things I've ever been to. That's great. Because you literally just paid for a circle. No one was allowed out of their circle. No one was allowed in your circle.
Great.
For my anxiety for like gigs and people getting in front of me and stuff, I was in heaven.
That's why as well.
To this day, it's the best fucking gig I've ever been to in my life.
It's the one thing they should have kept from COVID.
Oh, mate.
My one's in Exeter, because Exeter I think went hard on like putting up pop shields and stuff like in between tables.
Yeah.
Literally dividing the tables in half. So everyone who like come and do like try and give me song requests, I'll be like, can't get near me, get away, which is great. Being like, get the fuck out of my face.
I remember going to open mics around that time in Bristol, and just like you sort of had your little group on your table, but it was like a really small room, smaller than the room we're in now. Like 3 people clustered around a table, and you had to sort of like, I'm so sorry, just go back to my table, coming through. Okay,
but anyway, the song.
Yeah, because obviously this is like, I don't know, maybe like at least 8 months to a year into it when we're doing it. And I was like, I was still doing all the video stuff because I think I'm a visual learner, so I like to put out the videos and stuff. And most of the songs at this point were to try and make you guys pop, make you guys laugh in the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was saying
And it worked.
quickly off screen, being like, I did a cover of "Miss You" by Blink-182.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
And it was actually like sung it as like, "Hello there, angels of my nightmare," and then being like, then it goes to "Where are you?" It's just the scene from the Batman Begins. Where are you? Just to make everyone, like our friends and us four, just pop, just be like, here it comes, hard pause. Where are you? Fuck.
Yeah.
It worked.
It comes across really well.
But there was definitely I think when we did that, there was definitely like a oh wow, you've like really
it was like quite sudden too. The overdubs and stuff.
Not even the sudden, but the amount of like because I think prior to that, I think we both did just a lot of kind of acoustic covers of these songs
we were just making do
ways.
as best way for it.
Like a single track
whereas,
to camera.
Yeah, it definitely feel like you stepped yourself up a lot in that one by adding all those extra elements in, and obviously that did continue through the rest of that run. But that was like, I can see why you've chosen that, because I think that was like a moment where it was like, oh shit.
Like at the very tail end, even when we said about doing the Dakota ones, the Dakota one was the one with like cajon, there was percussion, there was harmonies everywhere, there was bass, there was acoustics. So that was the very tail end of our stuff, and that was the most produced one. But it still wasn't my favourite because I did all that effort, but I was like, it's still Dakota in the end, so I couldn't enjoy it as much.
One thing to say about this one, like the sort of general feel and the playfulness of it does feel like it's come from like your live world a little bit.
Like
the call and response pseudo things in there, and like the general sort of nice sort of forward tone and forward momentum of it. Like, was that conscious, or was that just how it turned out?
I think it always is like that, because I think during this time as well, I was also streaming on Twitch as well, streaming video games.
I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. I don't do it anymore, but subscribe to Twitch.tv/Sammy.
That was a good time, though.
Enough subscribers, you'll start again.
But I was doing that because I was like, there was also that part of being like better at broadcast and being better on camera, but also like the live side of me is like, I want to make people enjoy the music live. So when I do the filming stuff, it's like I want to show people who I am, how expressive I am. So I've got a funny face. So I just want to be like that to my friends who are like, not in a. I know I think some of us kind of suffer from a bit like isolation, anxiety, introvertism. So we kind of.
Not at all.
Who said that? But it's like when we want to try to bring it out of each other, we want to make everyone kind of happy and laugh. And I want to do that because I've said before that I'm too much of a people pleaser. So of course I want to like be like, hey, just everything's gonna be right. We're gonna get through this together. Let's sing some dumb songs.
That sort of jovial atmosphere comes across really well in that video.
Yeah.
It's like your live set, like kind of Declan said, like your live set condensed into a video, because anyone who's seen you live knows that it's always funny and upbeat and like happy, and it's brilliant. I like it.
Follow me at facebook.com/Sammy Jonas Music to find my events.
Damn, he's plugged before this man.
Also, I'm a mumbler, so all of that may be incoherent.
Sounds like an American auctioneer. Give me one of those.
Like a subtitle this video.
M&M noises.
Slow that bit down to half speed. Subtitles.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm proud of the redo of that because I think the other one was like just the camera singing into it, and it was like as a throwaway back then. But come back to it, I think it was more like impactful to be like make you guys laugh. Give myself a bit of a twang on it and just have some fun with it.
I think you knocked it out of the park on all fronts, really.
Yeah,
Same.
I think just from it made us laugh.
Bar low.
It was
Why'd you start with me?
more to it than sort of the previous ones, especially if we do have that playlist up where you can kind of see the ones that you did before that.
Yeah. And then it was something that continued afterwards, which, like you said, sort of
Continued
putting
improvement.
other instruments and things like that on, and sort of other tones and vibes and things like that.
So we'll see how this season goes. But yeah. Lovely. I think we'll move on to.
We are moving on now to Roger.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I thought it was Declan first. That's me. Okay,
not,
I'm here. I'm ready.
We have a slight order of what we order operations, so we're
have
just
an
seeing
order
out
right here,
Of which I forgot completely.
which we agreed on.
We did.
I've not set this.
No. Yeah.
He's actually edited while you were like just getting all this out.
Cut all that out. I made a mistake. But yeah,
Roger's song.
But yeah, the song I'm bringing to the show to discuss, this is from, I think, back in 2021, I believe.
So is this on the redos as well?
The second round of... Maybe not the redos, actually.
Maybe just before that.
But
we did
anyway,
one redo.
so the song I'm bringing is That Don't Impress Me Much, my cover of the Shania Twain song.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favourites. I think it's the one I gave you as well.
It is, yeah.
Oh,
I think
God.
so, yeah. And I just had I'll talk about it more after, but I just had so much fun doing it, and it's just the one I remember being the funnest for me, so...
Play that
Well,
song.
let's play it.
I've known a few guys who thought they were pretty smart, but you got being right down to an art. You think you're a genius, you drive me up the wall. You're a regular original, know-it-all. Oh, you think you're special. Oh, you think you're something else.
Okay, so you're a rocket scientist.
That don't impress me much. So you got the brains, but have you got the touch? But don't get me wrong, I think you're alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. I've never known a guy who carries a mirror in his pocket and a comb up his sleeve, just in case, and all that extra whole gel in your hair out to lock it, 'cause heaven forbid that it should fall out of place. Oh, you think you're special. Oh, you think you're something else.
Okay, so you're Brad Pitt.
That don't impress me much. So you got the looks, but have you got the touch? But don't get me wrong, yeah, I think you're alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night.
One of those guys who loves to shine his machine. Baby, take off my shoes before you let me get in. I can't believe you kiss your whole car goodnight. Now come on, baby, tell me you won't be drinking right.
Oh, you think you're special. Oh, you think you're something else.
Okay, so you've got a car.
That don't impress me much. So you got the moves, but have you got the touch? But don't get me wrong, I think you're alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. So you think you're cool, but have you got the touch?
It's a lovely little Shania Twain there from Roger. That's insane.
I had fun. doing it.
I've forgotten how much stuff you've put into that.
Yeah, that was. What do we even start with that really? I mean, I'll start. I really love the bass on that one.
There's so much
like
groovy bass.
it's like right in the
gnarly.
pocket.
Thanks.
Kind of like counters the melody a little bit. Really nice. I love a funky bass like that on it.
Same.
Really cool.
What I quite like is that you've got quite a lot of gubbins in the low end of the choruses that's not there in the verses.
Total accident. Seriously, thank you.
It's a good accident.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that until you just said it. But
Because it really gives the chorus like a bit of a punch when it comes in.
yeah, well, I guess the instrumentation's a bit different. But yeah, the bass I think was like, because usually with original songs, it's safe to say you like play it safe sometimes. Like, oh, I'll go with a clean bass sound here. Whereas with these covers, it's more like, oh, it's just having fun with friends and just sharing something. So like, let's try something I haven't tried. So I like put it through a distortion pedal, so you get this big, fat, juicy sound. You know,
Like
it's lovely.
dirty, dancey indie rock.
Yeah.
Dirty, dancey indie rock.
Yeah.
DDIR. Yeah.
Like, I'd love to hear more music like that from you.
Yeah.
That very speed on the third verse, I'd completely forgotten about that on the vocal.
And just off camera, like everyone, Josh just went, "Oh, is that with me?" It was like,
It's like Sammy
collaborate?
to play. I was like, did we play on each other's? I don't remember that.
Basically, yeah, it's just like record the vocal normally and then like pitch it down like I think 3 semitones, but because it wasn't sung, it didn't affect because obviously that would be 4 semitones flat.
on
Because it was
Audacity,
just-
like
it was just spoken.
27.5%.
Yeah. Just like you're
as
one of
we
those
all
guys
know,
who
yeah.
likes to challenge the machine, just
That's what
lower,
we
you
know.
know.
Great vocal performance on it. As
It
well.
Turned out all right.
Like, really good vocal
Thank
performance.
you.
I can tell you how good the song is. Not only is it like download it on my phone, it plays in my breaks during the set list, and that's the same key now that I cover it at my shows. Even though we're one of these girls. Well, I sound like that anyway.
You do. All the verses are like that for you.
You copied my voice to me to you.
So I guess what was the reason you picked it?
Who's your favourite?
Yeah.
Oh,
other
that is
than
my
that.
favourite. Because it has the most different things in it. It has the very speed vocals, has the big fat bass, it has like a few keyboard parts that I have never done on any other recording ever.
We can sort of hear them featured at the end a little bit there as well.
Yeah.
Really clearly at the end.
But also it exemplifies like the fun of doing this thing. It's not like, oh, here's a serious cover, guys, take this seriously. It's like, no, I'm like going, so you're Brad Pitt with like 12 voices, and like it's just funny and fun, and it just is the lightness that I like about this challenge we all do, you know.
Was this the kind of time you were sort of processing things through like tape as well?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we won't be showing this on the podcast, but like on the cover art, because we made a bit of cover art for our thing, didn't we? Like I used the back of the tape notes, because what I do is I had like an 8-track Tascam cassette recorder, and I just
As you do.
I just record.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I have one right now.
I'd record like say the drums, the bass, and a guitar on the tape recorder, so that it had that sort of like saturation-y sound. And then I put that onto the computer, so I had that, and then I record everything else just on the computer. But it gives it a bit of a warmth, and I've sold that tape recorder sadly now, so that's gone. But now I'm really sad it's gone.
Back to the song. Back to the happy song.
Oh yeah,
happy song.
But yeah, it was fun to do. I think what else about that? Like the vocal sat well for me, you know. Like I said with Dakota, the one I didn't like is it was quite hard to sing because it was high pitched, but this one was right in my vocal range. It's easy to perform this song because the lyrics are so silly, like you know.
But also it's a lyric with a story and a character to it.
Definitely, and I didn't realize how good the lyrics were until I covered it. I was like, oh, this is actually a really good song, you know.
Shania Twain, man.
Yeah.
She has some bangers.
Respect. She
Looks
banged.
like we made it.
Oh, that was
Look
her
out.
too.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I feel like a woman.
Shania
Let's go,
Twain month.
girls.
That's my vote.
But all of those songs, even this one, I think is great, especially like putting those extra vocals on top of like, okay, so you drive a rocket. But I can't remember the words now.
Like the
Okay,
gang vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like that song is such a good call and response song as is, and live when I do it. I feel like we go, okay, you drive a car. I expect like loads of people to actually join in with the song.
Yeah.
So it has that vibe of like, not only are you singing it and making it happy, and obviously doing what you do with best with like songs like this, is inviting people to be like, you have to sing along because I'm singing with myself, and there's so many of us, so join us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that-
hard to
It was
listen
bigger.
to that and not sing along whilst we were just listening.
There were some dance moves.
There were some
There
booty
was
shaking.
some dance moves.
There's some crumping going on.
This is the great thing because we didn't get to see this during like the COVID times, the pandemic times. We didn't get to see each other like in person, like grooving around to each other's songs. But that gang vocal thing, that like, oh, so you're Brad Pitt sort of thing. I tried that with one vocal at first, like just me going, oh, so you're Brad Pitt, and it sounded so shit. Just me on my own.
You said like
doing
in a
that.
job interview. So you Brad Pitt.
Don't impress me much.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? But yeah, so gang that up, and then the last thing I'll say is that you know the metal breakdown.
Oh yeah, like my
That
face.
was so fun.
My face, literally, just during that section was just like.
It melted. It melted off.
My favourite
This
bit.
is a new face.
I can't remember if it's in the original song, but obviously it's like the final bit of that was a do 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 do, like the descending
Yeah,
as
I
opposed to
kinda-
do 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 do.
Yeah, just change it so it goes down.
Yeah,
Semitones.
it's just like
yeah.
brings it all the way down, and obviously lines you up nicely for your vocal.
Yeah, very.
But it just brings it all the way down to that kind of, and then cutting out the end and being like, that don't impress me.
Quick thing about that is, you know that bit where it goes all quiet, it's just clicks like that. That bit, just before I uploaded it to show you guys, I was like, I'm not happy with that bridge, so I completely cut out that bridge and just put in me on clavichord and clicks and just completely redid it in like 3 minutes before I uploaded it. Like, and it just
Works
like.
well.
Why do we bother?
I just did, I did
Shall we
like
go
how
home?
it
Shall
was
we?
before.
Shall we?
No, exactly, because it was shit. That bridge was really bad. Like, yeah, not good at all.
Once I'd exported, it was done.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube now. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
it's there
done.
forever. Can't go back and change it now.
Phenomenal job.
That was fun.
Very good.
Thanks a lot.
Very good.
We'll
And-
probably have to say this like a couple of times in the podcast, but I always feel like Roger's going to blow us out of the water.
yeah.
Because I think like vocally and obviously like musically, I think you're probably like heads and shoulders above us. I think
I'm not
Quite
gonna agree
literally
with
at
that.
this point in
Well,
the
I think I think it shows from the half of us that already podcast and the half of us
Yeah.
that don't. You know, you've
But how
got
long-
you've got on this side of the sofa. You know,
But
you've
also,
got
this
very
is a man
accomplished-
with a discography of at least 20 records.
Well, yeah.
at
Well, this
point.
man has
Yeah.
albums on the Spotify. Well, so do you.
I have one, but he has
So
many.
check out Declan Kitcher on
Many,
Spotify.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Like, always need plug-in.
Seasoned recording.
Yeah.
This is yeah. Well, I guess that's the thing. I think what it comes down for at least what I thought about it is for you. This is more fun and experimenting.
100%.
For me, at least when we started this, it was a can I do this? Because especially like sorry, not to make it about myself, but like a lot of my early covers, it was more a case of can I replicate the song fully, let alone do anything interesting.
But that
Obviously
changed very quickly
changed
for
over
you,
time. Yeah,
very
that
quickly
yeah.
for you,
But for you, it was just so cool to see like what crazy shit you were gonna do. With,
Well, that's
with
the fun
song
thing
you
is
got.
You're kind of a wild card because sometimes you'll be like relatively tame and like you'll do like these really sort of tasteful and very nice things, and then sometimes you do Shania Twain and sort of an indie rock
Mad.
metal dance.
I just remembered his like gentle, smooth cover of Beauty and the Beast, where he slipped in an S-bomb in the middle of the song.
I got the lyrics and I went, Taylor's oldest shit. And I left it in.
Taylor's oldest shit.
Oh, I think I sung it.
Yeah, you
strange,
said-
finding you will change, learning you were wrong. Shit. It was just in the dark.
Well, that's the great thing about this. It's like I say, it's fun. It's like it's not
We are
like
definitely doing a Disney month.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Even if it takes 4 months for it to come back round to me, I'm set.
Yeah.
If it's not been
It's gonna
set.
be great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Amazing job.
Amazing cover. Love it. I remember
thank
when
you.
we listened to it the first time. It was just as good the second time. And then that brings us now on to Mr. Declan
Mr. Deck.
over here on the sofa.
Hello.
For your song. So what song did you bring back to the table, and why wasn't it the Mulan one?
It wasn't the Moonland one because it technically wasn't the best thing that I've done. Although it was the best thing that I've done.
Disagree.
Hard disagree.
Anyway, what second best song have you bought?
Well, actually, this one
Top
was,
3.
this one was kind of like a toss-up between two. So there was a cover of Just by Radiohead that I really am proud of.
Radiohead Week.
But I decided against that one. So I have chosen to bring, like Sammy's, a redo. My redo of Hard Times by Paramore.
Whee! And that was
nice.
originally given by me.
Yes, because the original version was a split screen acoustic thing
Yes.
where I just sort of did like the chords in one hand and the lead in another. It was very early days. It was literally the first one actually. And then the second one ended up a wee bit different.
Let's listen.
Let's check it out.
All that I want is to wake up fine. Tell me that I'm alright, that I ain't gonna die. All that I want is a hole in the ground. You can tell me when it's alright for me to come out. Hard times gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. And I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times, hard times. And I gotta get to rock bottom. Walking around with my little rain cloud hanging over my head, and it ain't coming down. Where do I go? Give me some sort of sign. You hit me with lightning, maybe I'll come alive. Hard times gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. And I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times, hard times. And I gotta hit rock bottom. Tell my friends I'm coming down. We'll kick it when I hit the ground. Tell my friends I'm coming down. We'll kick it when I hit the ground. When I hit the ground. When I hit the ground. Hard times gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. And I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times, hard times, hard times, hard times gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. And I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times, hard times, hard times.
Well, that was not hard to listen to. I had a great time listening to it. Not a hard time.
We had a great time.
No, that was sick.
Thank you guys for the compliments so far.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think we all kind of said, like, while we were listening, like, it's a lot heavier than we remember.
Yeah, way heavier than I remember.
But I like that it's really guitar driven in the verse and intro and everything. And when it hits the chorus, you expect it to like boom, and it goes like really quiet. You know what I mean? Hard times.
It's one of those ones where like I was experimenting a lot at that point with like having guitar strikes provide chords, putting reverb on that, taking the dry signal out, and then putting through that whole process again, so you were just left with this of noise, which
Wait, so you put a dry signal through reverb, and then you put that reverb signal through reverb.
Yeah, taking the dry signal out each time, so you're just left with this impression of chord.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I did a similar thing on on the Mumford & Sons one. Actually, it's
Yeah.
cool. It just leaves like it fills the void of space like really well.
Exactly. It sort of gives you like a tonal center without
Yeah.
having like a big like.
Or even
of a
notice it
guitar.
either as well. Like you might not even clock that it's there, but
Like the
it's
Kaiser
so
Chiefs
different without it.
The Kaiser Chiefs one I did, the disco-y sort of Kaiser Chiefs
Yeah,
one.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that had that in like various points as well to sort of like fill out and emphasize certain bits.
So very cool. You added a guitar solo.
Yes.
a song
It's to be expected. It's like,
Typically
this
didn't
song needs a
have
solo.
Tell you
Yeah.
what, Taylor York, I've got a better idea.
Yeah, that was a tricky one to get because I started doing that in the way that I normally do guitar solos. In that, like I was recording, it's sort of split up into like 4 little bits. So I did like the first 3 bits, and like they sort of overlapped a little bit. I thought, hold on, wait a minute, hard left, hard right, do a couple of run-ups at the
Hard
end.
timed.
Hard right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, a couple of run-ups at the end to go into like a little Brian May harmony out.
I was wondering, do you remember which guitar you used
No,
for it? No.
Wasn't the Red Special, was it?
I'm not
That's
sure.
what I
I
wanted.
don't know.
Yeah.
Did
It was just whatever guitar I had to hand in the orange.
Which is
practice
all of
out.
them because you were living in a
Closest.
shoebox.
True.
where were you at the time?
This
Were you-
was Bristol, yeah.
Bristol, yeah.
So the
What
teeny,
guitar was on
teeny,
hand?
tiny
Teeny tiny room.
This one or this one.
Teeny tiny box
that
room.
one.
No windows.
There was a window. It just acted
It was
as a
kind of
DVD
Declan
shelf.
uses windowsills as shelves.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in the new. I'm not in the
Slowly.
new place. It's now where I put my TV in front of.
To block out the rest of the light, yeah. Put
You,
the screensaver of it.
you had some great gang vocal moments in this, or like at least group vocals where you've overlapped a few things.
Yeah, that was using like a trick I think you've used once or twice, where like you sort of have, like if you need to do gang vocals, you don't just record with your own voice like 5 times. You do like a, and I gotta get the rap up, and I gotta get the rap up.
Many voices and
Many
impressions as possible.
different people.
But like when you put them in, like it just sounds.
Yeah, it sounds weird. It's weird, isn't it? Because when I've
It
done
sounds
stuff like that as
silly.
well. Yeah, it sounds so ridiculous when you're doing it. I especially just imagine what my wife thinks when I'm like running through all these different like ridiculous vocal takes. But then the end product is just it sounds so cool.
Yeah.
It
And
reminds
you
me when we used to do the. We would tend to take songs and sing them as most like football chants as possible.
Yeah.
We would just sit like open mic and just be like, I know, like, our times that make you wonder why you even try.
I'm not gonna lie, there are a few of those.
Yeah, no, that's my favourite. Just be like, "Whoa."
Great way to make a choir out
blended
of
down,
yourself.
it just sounds so. It's such a. But what you think is just a simple trick,
Yeah.
it's such a good result.
You can also really amplify that as well by like having some of the voices be this close from the mic and half of them be across the room,
Far away.
and then it's like
Yeah.
as far as the microphone thinks, there's 24 different people in the room.
Well, when you and
Yeah.
I did Schnookums, like one of the tracks on that has a recreated pub on it, by which it's us two doing silly voices for 50 takes and being all the different
Yeah.
people.
Not even singing necessarily, but sometimes
Like-
just going like,
sometimes
oi,
being-
oi, you know.
Yeah, like the people at the bar, or like the the bar staff, or like the people who don't know the words, the people who do know the words, the people who think they can sing but they're out of key. Like
Yeah, we did the same thing on Tally.
On Tally,
one
yeah.
of your albums, didn't we?
Yeah,
We did
yeah.
weird voices and all around the room, and we've ended up something. That, it sounds like a choir. At the
It
end,
does,
doesn't
particularly
it?
with 2 of us, because it doubles the
Slightly two different-
variety.
yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
yeah.
But no, yes, it sounds great.
Thank you.
On the song.
What else
Really
did you
good.
add that you really liked in this cover that made it your favourite?
Tape distortion, tons of it. Too much. Like it
It's
begins.
almost like
taking-
everything, isn't it?
Yes, there are
It's awesome.
there are at least 3 on the lead vocal. But yeah, that was a kind of a tricky one to try and get right, because originally I'd done it 5 semitones down from the original, because I've got a relatively low voice, and it just didn't quite sort of flow nicely. So this time I had to sort of take it down another 2 semitones, so it's -7 from the original, I believe.
That sucks.
Yeah, but it's exactly.
That's almost as far away as you could get.
Pretty much, yeah. But it was just one of those things of just like it had to be there so that I could put the power in the top notes, which I'm not happy with my singing on a lot of things that I do, but I'm very happy with my vocal take on that one.
Really good.
It is.
I still don't.
Yeah, it's a solid vocal performance, definitely.
Thank you. My neighbours loved me.
You chose your key before you went in and recorded the instrumental, unlike I did.
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
Dakota.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, who wouldn't do that?
Because I've got a very low voice, and it's not got a lot of range there. I have to be very careful with how I arrange songs.
Yeah. I always sing along to the original before when we did these things.
Like
It's like, yeah, if I can belt it, and then if I can't, I'm like, okay, we got to rethink this.
I end up learning the melody line on the guitar because I know more or less where my sort of good notes and bad notes are. So like I learn the melody line, think right, okay, that's about 6 up. Let's try it 6 down. Maybe sort of shake it around if it needs.
I think you subverted the song really nicely as well. It's very easy with that song because it is quite memorable in its riff and how it does, and to not kind of just, I think, get caught up in just not recreating it, but kind of taking it away from those beats and kind of doing your own thing around it.
Well, that's kind of my favourite thing with these challenges is to think like, okay, I've been given an acoustic ballad, right? What genre is it going to be this week? Or like,
It's never to replicate. It's always to like bring yourself to that song.
yeah, because you start off on the guitar, you sort of think, hang on, there's a bit of like a funk vibe to this one. Okay, let's go in that direction and see where it leads, which led to some weird results, like a doom metal version of Rhiannon, the Muscle Museum cover, which
That was great.
Oh yeah.
like the spoopy, out of key, very hungover.
There's a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think that one technically, in terms of what I was playing, in terms of what I was singing, that was probably the best one that I did. Like, yeah. That's about it, really.
It's really good.
It was great.
Thank
Great
you.
to hear it again.
Thank you very much.
I think, yeah, such a good improvement as well on the first, but obviously because that was a redo, wasn't it?
Yes, the first version was like, it was one of the ones I was actually doing a video for, so it was just on my old phone, which I forgot to turn off the automatic focus, so the two sides were like flickering in and out of time. Yeah, one side me singing with the acoustic backing, the other side, I think still acoustic, but a different acoustic lead and doing the harmony lines, which that was fun. It was a nice little thing, but also I just thought, right, I've got another chance to do this again.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Also with like that first one, like I said, our turnaround was like the week or every 2
Whereas
weeks.
that,
or so.
you would have had 2 weeks on that song.
Yes, a lot of time sort of putting in little bits, and
I think we all chose songs that we put 2 weeks into, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So I
actually.
haven't said mine yet, but
so this is a baseline essentially. Like
Yeah.
if any of them sound any less than this,
essentially, if you put more time into something,
It sounds better,
It's
Joe.
better.
I think a month is a really good time for producing something because you get to really sit with it. Whereas a week is quite like, it's good, but it's like,
Certainly.
let's rush it out sort of thing, you know?
Yeah. Don't set the bar too high, remember. It's going to be really rushed. And like, but we are all working.
I love the idea.
That's the thing we have to
monthly
think about.
cover
It's not
podcast
even
now becomes weekly. Well, shit.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, it's monthly, but we all do work full time and have other extracurricular projects and
I got
stuff
kids
as well.
to feed.
None of us have children. That's
In the
not
park,
true.
like ducks.
That you know about.
Imaginary children we have to care for.
The children of the world.
Yeah.
In a way, also
You're the
people
Bob
that are
Geldof.
children.
Aren't we the children that we should be looking after, really?
Okay.
What about our inner child?
Exactly.
He died many years ago. Alcohol poisoning.
Mine only comes out at Disney World. That's, when the only thing you have to worry about is ride times. It's great. If that's like your top worry, you're doing
You're doing pretty well, aren't you? Yeah.
Pretty idyllic.
Well,
Round off nicely. Back to our host, I guess.
Back to me for my song. So
So, what was your favourite?
yeah, so I mean, it was tough. So obviously, I mean, I went right back to the start and I listened to every single song that I did. I think, like I was saying earlier, there was definitely an upwards tick improvement. So I have chosen the song that was relatively towards the end of our second run. But yeah, so I mean, I've chosen a song, one of the few songs where I actually really did subvert and go very different to the original, because I think for a lot of the songs, for me at least, like I said, I was really just trying to prove to myself at least that I can do it, that I can, like, I remember one of the first ones I did properly was like All My Lovin' by the Beatles, not the one I've chosen, but that was the first one I was like, I'm not doing anything weird with it, I'm just trying to recreate it.
yeah. See if you can
Get the right tones, get the vocals right, do all that. But yeah, this was one that I didn't do that on, where I felt a bit more comfortable to go to subvert it, but mainly because I didn't like the song.
Oh, that
And,
helps
and
in
it's,
a way.
and it's ironic that this is the song that I'd listened to and gone, actually, this is the best one, and it's not one that I'm too fond of, and it was because I was just like, I don't really like the song. I'm just gonna do what you
If
like.
you say
I'm just gonna
Dakota,
do it.
I'm
It's not Dakota.
We put chat on the song. And
So
our
actually,
covers
yeah.
it.
So it's only because it's a band I don't really like, and it's a song that's just super overhyped and overplayed. So I did from Radiohead Week, Creep.
Ooh.
I remember when I chose Radiohead Week, you were like, oh,
I said at the time, I was like, I don't
Radiohead.
like Radiohead. So I remember going into it kind of really like disheartened a little bit. I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. So I just kind of threw things at the wall with it.
I mean, to be fair, that's why my cover of Just ended up
Yeah.
the way it did. It was like,
And
hold on, these are the steps.
And I don't
Right, let's
think
do something with
I
this.
don't think I thought much of it at the time when we put it up and talked about it. And but yeah, on the re-listen, I was like, oh Jesus, like that actually. And I listened to it in different places, like on my phone, on headphones, on the television, and each time it was just like, yeah, no, there's no contest. This was the best cover I did.
Cool.
Quite happily.
Well, let's give it
Now,
a listen.
yeah, it's our turn to re-listen to it.
Listen.
Let's do it.
Hi.
So yeah,
That was awesome.
thank you.
That was awesome. I'll just kick it off. Like, the thing I love about it most of all is it's like completely originally produced. I can't think of another song that is produced that way.
No,
Ukulele, hip hop drums, amazing, cool, like
Unsettling,
proggy-
vibey, bassy thing.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the bass was. I think the bass was running through my pod, line 6, which was 4 guitars, but I ran it through because it had a tremolo on it. So I thought like, oh, that's actually, it's got tremolo. I think it's tremolo and delay. I mean, everything's got delay and reverb on it, if I'm pretty sure. And it's not even, it's not even like a case of I like reverb everything's got reverb, different reverbs on different instruments, and just to kind of subvert. Like I said, because I was just throwing everything at the wall at it to kind of see what worked.
It's kind of interesting. You were doing the same sort of thing that Radiohead were doing, because they weren't much fans of the song. Like the whole thing of why it's got that big fuzz on the choruses, they were trying to think of ideas to ruin it.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. But yeah, and then you have, so just to kind of, because there is a lot going on. I mean, you've got two different, you've got the verse vocals, you've got the chorus vocals. The verse vocals are running through like kind of like a megaphone kind of effect, and then that's kind of really heavily compressed down. Again, then ran through 2 different reverbs and looped back through the track, and lots of weird shit going on. But yeah, I just liked it. I think originally I picked up the ukulele. I thought, like, okay, great. It's a really sad song, and it'll be it's always fun to kind of subvert that with a typically happy kind of sounding instrument.
Good point.
Thing for that one for me was like with the ukulele and like the sort of synthy bass and sort of the hip hop style drums. The vibe I was very much getting was like 21 Pilots.
Yeah, I was kind of going for that.
Yeah.
Really kind of in that. I don't think that was necessarily intentional, but I think ultimately that's
It sort of ended
where
up.
my brain was going, because I was like, okay, well, I think it was the ukulele went down first. I definitely remember that, and then I think the bass had come. I think I had the hip hoppy drums because I had done because I think it had a clap sound on the VST that I'd used the previous week when we did the Muse cover.
Oh, right.
For Time Is Running Out.
Oh, of course.
So then I thought, like, okay, I've got this really cool hip hoppy sounding drums. I've got very heavy bass and a ukulele. Yeah, 21 Pilots. Let's just kind of lean into that as well. But then kind of really subvert with the vocals and play around with that.
Well, I mean, it works. Like
How that drives through.
Like you've got the very low notes, you've got the very high notes, and you've got your sort of vocal in between them. Like there's not a lot going on there, which kind of is, like audibly unsettling, but in a very nice way.
There's loads of space in the mix, which, because you'd only started producing like a year or so before that or so.
Yeah, it's only been my 5th or 6th track using Cakewalk, probably.
Your production had grown faster than anyone else I've ever known, and you got to this point where now you're using, like you said, all these effects. You're feeding effects back through the project. And yeah, like I said, there's so much space in the track where it's like everything's got nice separation, which I feel like for a lot of like people who are new to production, it's like they don't do that. So you obviously had like a real like idea of what you were going for. It's awesome.
Thank you very much.
And also, just what I wanted, like the she's running out.
Oh yeah.
Really
you
amazing vocal
smashed
performance.
the-
Yeah,
That would be a difficult note to try and
It's
hit.
one of the better vocal takes. I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a lot. A lot of takes
I think-
to get that.
During some of these ones, I know we've had, when we did record them, you'd be like, oh, my voice is fucked from doing that all day
Yeah.
for recording stuff. And I can't remember if this one was that. I know it sounds like
No.
you smashed it.
I think I was okay on
But I
this.
think you're like, yeah, especially like the song you hate, singing aggressively like that, you're probably just like, I'm putting the
I hadn't
into
thought
it.
I hadn't
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
much about it. No, this is the only thing I was properly proud of. I think when we put that up was kind of the falsetto kind of like vocal breakdown
Yeah.
that I had, mainly because I managed to hit the notes in a take.
Oh, it's smashing.
Because I did check it. It is one take. Surprisingly,
wow, that's
yeah,
fun.
it's not. I thought I must have done that in,
Like dropping bits in.
pieces, but no, it's the one take. Very surprisingly.
Can I ask you a technical question about the vocals?
Yeah, go for it.
Because you got the megaphone in the verses, and then you got a different set of effects in the choruses. Did you record your vocals with your headphones on, with the effects already applied, or was that done in post?
In post.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in
Cool.
post. So I think I sang each verse, each chorus like separate takes, so they're in different like vocal lines on Cakewalk. But then I played with effects after. I think I knew that's what I was going to do, but yeah, I didn't. I tend not to record it with the effects in place, just because for my PC at least it doesn't always
not always
like it as
happy,
much. So yeah, I tend
there's
to.
very little that you need to sort of be aware of the interplay as you're doing.
Some effects were in place, like the bass was that effect was in place playing.
'Cause that was
I
through
kind
the
of
line
I
six.
needed to know where the trem kind of was going each time. Ukulele went in clean though, and had a lot of stuff was all done in like post production really. I think it would have only been the bass that had effects on it already, just because that's what I wanted.
Well, that's
out of
where
it.
you were sourcing them from.
Kind of playing it from, yeah. It was very much just a ukulele and a bass over a click, and then everything else was built up around it.
Because even before like the drums come in, is like that long like intro for the first verse. Like I don't know if it's like new music now. Whenever you see like a science fiction trailer, they always do like an alternate version of someone's song now.
Yes, yeah.
That's what that reminds me of, being like
Okay.
where that kind of that synthiness and the kind of the upbeatness, but there's a sinister tone behind it. So I can imagine being
any
like
trailer
"We're at
editors
war."
who are looking to like get this song, we've got your guy
But
here.
do you know what I mean? Where it's like in the background, it's like we're at war. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
Then it's like, come on, Damon, you can't leave me here. No, I'm leaving. But that intro, like whatever you want, it's like almost. I can imagine it in like the Fallout show.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Take
so
that.
can I.
It's like imagine that trailer where it's like going on the vaults and it's like
Yeah.
the echoey chamber and the sinisterness. You're like, what's happening here?
Just like an angel. Yeah, over that
Yeah.
sort of like Fallout look. Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe where it's like that's like dystopian kind of feel
Yeah.
to it. Where it's like everything's happy,
Reverb.
but is it?
yeah.
With the vocal-
Reverb, baby.
performance as
Reverb,
well-
baby.
With the vocal performance as well, you are kind of leaning into the sinister side of the words and everything.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I thought about it. I kind of like to think about the lyrics when I sing it, and then kind of know that I'm also singing it to a ukulele. Kind of led it, because I would have sang to the ukulele if I remember rightly. Vocals would have come in after I mixed everything else down a little bit.
Yes,
So it would have come in
processing
very
it.
near the end, and then the effects would have then been applied.
Yeah.
To kind of get the right vibe. I just like that megaphone kind of feel in the verses,
Like,
and
it
then
would be
kind
so
of drives
cool
it.
to like do it on stage and just whip out a megaphone, do that, and then just throw it off stage, and then just do it.
Carry on playing. But yeah, that was my.
I still love the idea of being like, Roger was like, okay, we're gonna do Radiohead a week. You're gonna have Creep, and then we like disconnect from our little chat that we're doing. You gone fucking Hanks, give me the.
I did.
Give me the ukulele, you son of a bitch.
See, because you
Angry dude.
well, I had a similar thing because you gave me Just, and I was just like, I've heard the song, but I'm not familiar with it, so I had to like go and learn like everything about it.
I
which
never
one I was
heard-
just like, okay, let's do something different then.
I never heard of Karma Police before you gave it to me as that week either.
Really?
You
Never.
did it to yourself. You did. Is
I
that
will
the one?
say as
No.
well, I'm not the.
Police, arrest this man, he's drowning in meth.
Which one am I thinking of then? Oh no, that I'm thinking of
Just,
fucking
you're
Mine.
thinking of
Yeah,
Just.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's like that week was
Sexy
Radiohead.
Stady style thing in
Yeah.
the intro.
As you can see, people, Radiohead Week was very popular.
I think we had some of those where it's like week everyone's like, oh, we do it with this.
Yeah. Well, I almost didn't listen to this one because I remember saying to my wife, I was like,
really?
I'm not. I was like, nah, it's not. And she was, no, just listen to it. And actually, I was like, oh fuck, okay, yeah, this.
I think we did have like a mild veto if no one knew the song at all.
Yeah, we always had a veto, and I nearly fucking. Well, I couldn't really veto it because the whole week was Radiohead week. We couldn't not do a Radiohead song.
But then also that gave us sort of the challenge of like, okay, we don't know these songs, or we're not necessarily as enamored with them. Like,
Yeah.
What can we do with them?
But do you want, well, I do have an interesting fact I think about my song is I don't think I'm the first person to do Creep on a ukulele.
You're not.
Oh, really?
No, well, what I found out the other day actually, and this was since I decided. So
Sorry, just the format of that fact. Like, it's the same as like, I'm not the first person to play "Here Comes the Sun" on a guitar. Like,
well, I know. Well, I just sort of like, but I thought I was doing like a cool thing, but I think actually I was kind of like subconsciously chose it because I was rewatching a show called Superstore on
Yes.
Netflix. Have you seen Super? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
know.
and there is actually a scene where they're having like a little funeral, and like the only song she knows to play is "Creep." And she's got a ukulele and she's playing it. And I rewatched that episode the other day, and then so Sam, my wife, said to me, she was like, "Is that where you got the idea from?" Because we were watching that show over COVID, and I said, "Did you get your idea from that?" And I'm like, "Not to my knowledge, but very possibly."
Subconsciously, it wormed its way in your head somehow. I suppose.
Very likely. So I can't even. I don't think I can even take credit for the ukulele part, or ripping off 21 Pilots apparently. So
being inspired by.
no, inspired by. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the point of like the challenges where it's like here's your song, here's your genre, have at it more than anything.
Yeah.
And this is like that perfect example, being like, it is like, oh, it's the same key as Creep, but also like I put on ukulele and I've given it this sinister overtone with like the megaphones and like the synthy bass.
But I think for me, it was probably one of the few songs where I really tried to subvert, rather than prove to myself I could
Just do the song as is.
recreate
Do your
the
own
song.
thing with it.
Yeah, it was very much I just went in kind of like, fuck it, let's just, how are we gonna do it?
I remember when you started to do that more and more, because like you said at the beginning, you were just like kind of learning the ropes, recreating songs. When you started to add in things like, oh, an effect, a tremolo on the bass here, I remember just getting more and more excited. Like you're doing stuff that's like completely like trying to experiment, which is always my favorite stuff from you. I love that kind of stuff.
I think this episode is like good representation of like, we have actually picked all the songs we brought to the table today, being like, oh, there's a heavy version of Hard Times, there is like the more sinister version of Creep, sorry.
Yeah, more.
The indie dance funk,
The country version,
and the country version.
so
of,
it's like, yeah, this is the perfect example of being like, if you carry on watching, obviously
Please
for this,
do.
yeah, please subscribe, like,
please.
Jess.
Please.
We need to do the things.
My ego is too fragile.
But yeah, it's the kind of perfect encapsulation of being like, this is what the show is going forward as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So,
it's
yeah,
great.
more of all of this to come. And I think that leads us on nicely then into what our first actual challenge is going to be.
I'm so excited.
So
about this.
what we're
I'm
going to be
so
bringing
terrified.
forwards, obviously in around
I know
about
the
a month's
subject, I'm
time
terrified.
so about a month's time from this goes out is when we'll be then submitting.
Assume
coming
before
to the table.
Christmas then.
Well, record
about-
date before Christmas, but as far as the
Before the year ends then.
No,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
record on Christmas Day. I insist.
Well, this will go out in about a month.
That's what I mean, but
Yeah,
before,
yeah, just
before the end of the year at
give
least.
us time to do it. So I think it's early January. I think. Don't commit. So I'll put it in the notes.
in due
Look
course.
in the comments.
Whenever this is uploaded,
Look at the
think in
blue-
4
in
weeks'
the
time.
future.
That's what we do.
Sometime it'll come out. Sometime.
Do some math.
I'll write it somewhere in the video, so just keep an eye out for that.
Specifically, it'll be
But-
written right here.
So, as I
Edit stuff in.
as I brought this to the table, so this is sort of effectively my challenge, which is nice because none of us have had to actually
Thank you. More challenges like
do
this,
any
please.
Yeah, cheers,
recording.
Josh.
All we had to do was bring links. Is that great?
So yeah, really nice, easy starter challenge. But to actually get into the meat of it now, Sammy, you've chosen. So we don't know, as we said earlier, what our challenge for the next month is going
What
to
the
be.
category is.
So I'll hand over to you, Sammy, now to drive and
Yeah.
to tell us what our next month of our life is going to be and what you guys at home have to look forward to.
I am the captain now. So I wrote this down just because, word-wise, I hope this makes sense. No, I think it is. I think it's clear. And I think it's simple and broad enough for everyone to enjoy.
Cool.
But I just wanted to be sure that, like, the word-wise, I made sense of it.
Me, no word good.
Paragraph 1.
Okay, so I've got examples as well to
You're
help.
making me so tense right now.
No, it's okay. So, the first challenge: any genre, any decade,
Cool.
is you must pick a solo artist
Okay.
with the same initial as yourself.
First and last names.
Just first.
First initial, then.
Yes, first initial with name.
So mine could be
Solo
like
artist.
So I do have some examples
Yeah, go on.
of solo artists for each of us as well.
Okay.
So for example, I could pick S, obviously, Sophie Alex Baxter, Stevie Wonder, Sinead O'Connor, Serge Tankian.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, exactly. For Declan,
I could be like Dusty Springfield.
Dolly Parton, David Bowie, something a bit newer, Dua Lipa. Like, I'm giving years of examples as well. Dr. Dre, your favourite.
I like these little solo artists.
Absolutely my
Big
favourite.
Dr.
yes.
Dre fan.
Roger, easy one, Ringo Starr.
No, thanks. No, I'm joking. Ringo, I love you. I know you're watching.
Rihanna, Roy Orbison, Rita Ora, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. I was actually I was trying to find older female solo artists and I couldn't think of some.
They didn't come out with them until about the 80s, I don't think.
No.
They ran out of like the letters.
Run out of names. No one's called out for that.
So
And
one of the
then
newer
Josh, you probably
alphabet.
have the easiest one where it's like,
Janis Joplin.
John Lennon.
Johnny Cash, your favourite. Jason Derulo, Janis Joplin, Jelly Roll was something a bit newer.
Oh,
And then
Jelly
obviously
Roll.
Josh's favourite, James Blunt.
like a James Blunt. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I thought would be like.
James Blunt.
You know, we're all like, you know, solo artists in our own way.
So do we think it has to be?
Any genre, any
let's
style.
take for instance. Let's take, and this isn't necessarily what I'm going to do. I might do, but like, say if I chose Jelly Roll, he has featured on some of Post Malone's songs recently. Would that be cheating?
I think he wants to do that.
Doing the Jelly Roll.
I would say
I'm not gonna. I've already tried.
No.
I've already tried.
I would say it's up to like, because this is something up to our discretion. Like the only thing is, cannot be a group or a band.
Okay.
I think that
like
way,
That's cool.
because
So
like, we are solo artists in our own rights as well, and I think it should be a nice way to obviously get the audience to know us individually and what our taste might be as well, and what we kind of what we bring to the table, even if we're like we're going to cover, you know.
So like, if I did John Lennon. Wait, can I do John Lennon? Yeah, I can do John Lennon. So if I was
What's your name again?
if I was doing John Lennon, but I couldn't then just go and choose a Beatles song. I'd have to choose something.
A solo song.
Or say like one of us, someone had a name with P. You know, you could do a Paul McCartney song.
But you couldn't do Paul McCartney's and Wings.
But you couldn't
As
do
the
Wings.
Beatles, no.
You couldn't do Wings.
No.
You'd have to do solo career, I think.
So you'd have to be like Paul
Yes.
McCartney 1, 2, 3.
I'm hoping that makes sense. There's not too.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
because I wanted to be more like, you know, representing
So
like
solo
solo artists.
and it has to be one of their solo songs.
Yes.
Can't be something that they did when they were in a band. Like you couldn't do.
I couldn't do Dave Grohl and do Foo Fighters.
Or like if you're doing like Clapton, not that anyone can do Clapton, but you couldn't do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or Derek and the Dominoes, you couldn't do like Layla, or I don't know, but he's done Layla solo. It's a weird one.
The only
But so basically, it has to just be.
the only caveat I will say is like I know, like I said, I did try and look for songs for like Roger, for example. Obviously, I found a couple of artists, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
there's some...
can't think of anyone for Roger. I mean, I can.
I couldn't think of
Rihanna.
anyone for
Yeah,
Jay, but.
Yeah, but
You've got loads of options.
But this is
John
obviously
Lennon.
this is as we're recording it and you guys hearing it, so there's no like
Yeah.
research or anything. This is just me giving
Yeah.
you ideas.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, ultimately, we're not now going to talk about this for a month.
Yeah. The only caveat, the only like,
true.
the only caveat I'll absolutely give, because I know there's lots of artists who could like start with S or D, R, and J. If there's absolutely no one you can think of, I would say you can just use the last initial as a kind of last resort, because that's what I said about doing like I wanted to do like an old school cover of like a female singer who begins with R, and I couldn't think of anyone. I thought maybe you might be able to go like, oh, someone R at the end, Roland or someone.
So
I'm sure I'll think of someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's like an absolute like worst case scenario. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have an
Does.
idea actually now. I'm not going to say, but I do have an idea.
Well, they have an idea.
There was a bang from upstairs. That's why everyone.
They're excited. You should
Well,
subscribe
everyone-
too.
everyone
they should
looks
subscribe.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I have no idea what I'm going to pick.
But at least we have like at least 4 weeks to come up with something and be like,
That's true. Well, you don't leave it too late because you've actually got to.
well, you at least got 4 weeks.
We've actually got to
Put it
record
together.
something.
Fine, you have at least 27 days of research and then 1 day
Yeah.
to record it.
This is tougher as well because I think before when we were just given a song, it's kind of you just go. Now there's the element of choosing something and
Yeah.
also sticking with it. Because at least when we had an individual song, we couldn't then decide to choose a different song.
You couldn't. Yeah,
Can't
you
go
couldn't halfway
halfway
through the
down
week go,
recording a song and then go, this isn't working. Because there were times when I'm doing the songs and go, this ain't working. And if I had the option to just go, nah, fuck it, I'll do a different song. I don't think we could. I don't. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
gonna
a
be
good
tough.
point,
It's gonna be
because
tough
we're
to
not telling
really.
each other. We could start working on something for 3 weeks and go, actually, I don't like this.
Yeah,
it's not
scrap it
working.
and.
I'll change my mind, and no one needs to know.
But we also got plenty of time to be like, oh, I can try a couple of things and see who the best contender is before like going to the final stages of it as well.
That's true. Mashups.
I'm
No,
looking
not a
forward to
chance.
this.
I'm not doing a mashup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously,
interesting.
all the categories that everyone else hands out, this is just the audience being like, hopefully it won't be as like, you know, strange as mine. I hope. I don't know.
No, I like yours. I
Who
like
chose?
yours.
Maybe they'll be stranger.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But I thought it'd be like,
Yeah.
rather than just picking like a year or a decade or a single thing, I thought something a bit more like unique for a change.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah. It's cool because it's not restricted to, like you say, a decade. Like, oh, we're doing the 60s today.
Yeah.
It's like it could be something that came out last week or something that came
You are
out.
restricted to a letter.
Yes. Well, a letter of a single person.
26 times as restricted.
Well, you got 25
rather
less
than a
to worry about,
decade.
so.
You're restricted to. It's more
than
restrictive
20
than a
Yeah,
decade.
yeah.
26, yeah, because
That's
a
fine.
decade, you what could be? I guess you could start 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
I mean, you can start in the 20s if you're in the 20s.
tens, and 20s. So you've got about 8 there, but we've got 26 letters
Which,
in the
25
English
of
language.
which are unusable to us. And even then,
Wait,
the
that's what I
subset
mean.
of that one is like only the...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's very.
thinking, like-
and it's restricted because you're only talking solo artists. We're not.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not like we
yeah.
can
I
even
keep
use
thinking like
bands.
Roger
with your
Waters,
name.
Roger Daltrey, whatever, but they're in bands, so I can't touch those.
I keep thinking of Dresden Dolls, and I just think, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that Mr. Dolls. Hello, Mr. Dolls.
I think
But as long as if they've put that song out as a solo art, I think you could still make
Could
that
argue that for
argument.
sure, yeah.
Like I would bring up Clapton again. I would argue you could do
You could
Layla
get away
because
with Layla.
he's put Layla out as solo and as Derek and the Dominoes.
so
Yeah.
this is my cover reimagining of Eric Clapton's cover reimagining
Cover of his own band song. Yeah, interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah.
sorry.
I feel like the end of these episodes are just going to be us scratching our chins and
Yeah, it is a bit.
peering off into the sunset.
Just everyone we forget and we're just all thinking in our head.
Just Googling, like...
My other challenge I had written down is going to be worse, so I thought this would be easier.
Is that going to be our
I
challenge
really
in 5 months' time?
I mean, I can spoil it. I'll change it otherwise.
We'll
Just-
forget in 5
We'll
months.
forget.
Right.
Well,
But,
I mean, do the audience want to know?
Yeah, I might as well share.
Depends if you're going to use it.
No,
you might not use it.
because I think this is too silly. This
Wait,
one.
what?
okay.
This was what you were going to do?
This is what-
This is
Here's what you
challenge
could have
two. I like
Ah.
this. Yeah, being like you can pick any song you wanted, any genre, any year, any whatever, but the song title must have as many words in your name as the song.
So many,
What?
So like,
letters.
I've got...
SAM, I could pick like a virgin.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, so
my
I'd have to pick
God.
one with 6.
Yeah,
So would I have to
girls
use Josh?
just want to have fun.
That's 7.
Girls just
Be
want
4.
to have fun. I can't do math either.
Yeah, it's a good
Or
thing.
being
it's
like
not a
these
math
boots made for
challenge.
walking.
Yeah.
I was made for
We'd
loving you.
struggle.
Oh, you really wrote it out.
Yeah,
Cool.
Roger. Battle the devil, you know. 'Cause it's true. Just the way you are. Or pour some sugar on me.
I would actually do
Yeah.
that song.
Then Josh, don't let me down.
Nice.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Well,
It does.
are we using full names?
No, I'm only picking the first name again. I'm like not going
Yeah.
to.
Well, yeah, but you could argue
Yeah.
I could do Josh and just go with 4.
Yeah, I
Or
picked
you
Josh.
could do
be easier.
Joshua.
Yeah.
But then you'd have the same pick as you because you have 6 letters.
Yeah.
So I've written Josh anyway to be easier.
Fair play.
Cool.
Well, in this case...
So I think
we're
I picked the
just doing
easier of the
names
2
one.
for
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you went with that one.
The other one would be fun
over
because it'd be
the
like, what song title literally has
Yeah.
6 words?
And I was also thinking of one that's like fairly well known as well. I've got a few things floating around my head at the moment. In fact, I think I know what I'm going to do.
I have a silly idea, which is probably not going to
Yeah,
work.
I don't know.
My favourite thing when I was
Do
like,
it.
my favourite thing of doing a bit of research, I was like, there's so many double J's, so I could just pick stuff with like Josh. I could have like Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Do JJ
Well, I mean,
Cale,
that-
Josh.
Yeah.
There is a recording artist with my name, so if you'd done like...
That's true. There is a Josh James that does like folk music.
Yeah, yeah.
as well in
So-
America.
You just bring your own.
We're both covered. We just go and find the artist with our names.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought you'd be like, I found this a small artist on Spotify. His name's Declan Kitchener. It's me. And just play your own song.
No, there is another one. There is another one.
That'd be a bit of a weird deception if we covered the artist with our names.
Yeah.
Mine's but he's got like albums in HMV.
Oh dear.
I saw his album in there once.
Are you sure
Like
it's not
fuck
you?
that guy.
From Parallel Universe.
No. I won't talk
maybe.
about it. It's not my
Not your thing.
Not my bag, man.
Thanks.
So not competition. So
my bag.
he's in a different
We're
field.
in
so-
different categories.
Yeah. I feel there's room in the market for two.
I could change my name though. I could give myself a stage name, maybe.
Jumping Josh James.
Something like that. Or just change it completely.
He's just on a pogo stick.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just like re-recorder, Jumping Jack Flash, Jumping Josh James.
Triple J.
Well, I think that's probably a good place to finish it. I hope you've
That
all
makes
enjoyed
sense.
watching our very first episode of the podcast. I hope everyone retunes in a month's time when we come back to the table with fresh stuff and not stuff we've heard before, with a solo artist
Who shares an initial.
with a J, an S, a D, and an R. So what will we find?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Only time will
Only
tell.
time will tell. So yeah, unless the world ends, we'll
He's
see you
jinxed us
in
now. Fuck.
a month's time.
Wait, what's that coming from over there?
It's COVID too. I let you Google it.
COVID 2. Hey, if COVID 2 happens, there is something going on. If COVID 2 happens, we'll go to weekly.
What do you mean there is something going around? I don't
There's
know.
something going around. Yeah.
Tell me about it after the pod.
I don't know.
Oh, wait,
It'll be terrible for the world. but
Audience,
it'll
you
be
can't
great
see
for
from
our
here, but this
show.
side of his hat's
There's
tinfoil.
another thing.
Here's us wishing for
Another
a
thing.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I don't want to do a song. Bring me the.
Yeah.
Bring me locked down. Bring me locked down and bring me death.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
See you
Bye
soon.
bye.